All right, so you're convinced strength training is amazing, and that is true, but you don't have access to weights or machines. Are you screwed? No, not really. There are other ways to strength train. We're going to talk about our favorite ways to strength train without weights or machines. Here we go.
Prison style.
Yeah.
Am I right, guys?
Yeah. This is actually, so as a trainer, you really got to figure this out because you will have clients, especially if you grow your business outside of the gym that you're in and scale. You will have clients that don't have access to lots of equipment.
Oh, I thought you were going to go the other direction. You remember the days when you used to train at 5 o'clock at night on a Tuesday?
Oh, and all the equipment's
Yeah.
that also.
And you used to go over and get a mat,
was frustrating.
couple dumbbells in a little corner.
And you do everything.
I'd train 5 clients.
Don't
in a row
even
like
leave.
that.
Yeah. That's your corner.
Yeah.
Actually, I had that experience grand opening the Santa Teresa 24 Fitness Club 497. I don't know. I remember that. But anyway, that club, the grand opening took forever. And there were no weights for a long time. It was just cardio. And I think basketball was there and everything, but there was no weights. And so all my trainers had to figure out how to train clients without anything. And they did exceptionally well without having to use most equipment. So let's talk about some favorite ways to strength train. For me personally, I love, and I love this for a lot of different reasons, but I love suspension trainers a lot.
too.
I like suspension trainers because it's an appropriate piece of equipment. First off, it takes up no space, super inexpensive. So you can fit it in a drawer. It's like if you wrap it up, it's like this big. They're durable, so they last a long time. But it's an appropriate piece of equipment for advanced or beginners.
Yeah.
It's one of those few pieces of equipment that you could use on your beginner clients or somebody who's
Universal,
like super strong. You can make exercises, especially upper body exercises, really challenging.
Well, you can crank the intensity or decrease the intensity pretty easily just by adjusting your angles and usage of it. And so it comes in handy for so many different exercises.
Yeah.
You can use it outside off of a tree.
Yep.
You can use it inside an attachment on the garage door. I mean, it is so versatile, and you can make it about the only thing I would say it's limited is legs.
Yes.
That is and by the way, I know you can do some things on it that are really challenging, especially hamstring stuff. It's really challenging. But for the most part, legs are probably the greatest challenge. But besides that, it is an incredible tool.
I would have to say across the board, one of the hardest things to train if you really want to build a lot of muscle in your legs. Yeah, it's going to be legs, right? Because the amount of resistance that's required. But can you build muscle and develop very fit, strong, sculpted legs without weights? You can.
Yeah.
There's lots of one-legged exercises.
You got to do single leg. Yeah. I mean, that's really the only way you can intensify to the degree where your muscles are going to get that kind of stimulus.
And to that point, what's cool about the suspension trainer is like most people, not everybody, but most people that are relatively new can't even do one single leg squat.
No.
Yeah.
But if you have the suspension trainer,
Yes.
you can regress that, and you could hold the suspension trainer and support your body and go down, say, a quarter of the way, and then work up to half the way, and then work down to deep ones, and then work out to multiple reps. And during that process of regressing all the way down to a quarter squat with one leg, and then eventually full range of squats to multiple squats, single leg.
Bulgarian with your foot in the straps.
You will build some legs.
It's a difficult exercise.
You will, and that's why I like the suspension trainer. You can make the exercises incredibly difficult. I mean, the inspiration. I have to guess. I don't know this for sure, but I'm going to guess that the inspiration for the suspension trainers were gymnastics rings.
Sure.
That's a pretty good guess, right? I don't know if that's 100%, but I'm pretty sure the guy who invented them saw Olympic rings.
A little bit of controversy there, but yeah.
Yeah, and the challenging, I mean, Olympic rings are among some of the most challenging pieces of equipment that gymnasts use, and I would say they're largely responsible for some of the incredible upper body development that you'll see with gymnasts. In fact, I had, there's a viral video we did years ago where I talked about why gymnasts have such big biceps.
You know the guy that you made the video of actually made a comment?
Same guy. So, and there's a guy that's in the video with these crazy looking gymnasts. By the way, of course, at the top level, of sports, you have body types that are also genetically gifted for that sport. And what do you need for gymnastics? You got to be kind of small, but you also have to have
compact,
really, really like good muscle development and strength, right? That's what makes you a good gymnast. So of course they're going to be at that level, but nonetheless, gymnasts tend to have pretty well developed biceps, and they don't do curls. And the video went viral because I said they do lots of pull-ups. Well, gymnasts actually went on there and said that's actually not the most. That's not why our biceps are so big. It's because of the what is it called, the iron cross?
Yeah, the isometric holds.
Yeah, that's super tense.
End range tense.
I could see that really blowing up your biceps because of the isometric contraction, that stretch position.
Where is the origin of the suspension trainer? Are you looking that up over there?
Well,
I'm so curious to what that is.
Okay, so what was the other one called? It was out of Chicago, but there was like Jungle Gym, I believe, started it out, and so there's controversy with that. But like, so the actual owner of TRX was inspired, was on leave or on basically overseas on some kind of active duty, and used straps. So used like seatbelt straps, and was able to kind of tie it off to tanks and Jeeps, and they started to be able to use these straps to get good upper body exercising, and so they kind of used that as a way to supplement, you know, while they were out on duty to be able to still kind of do calisthenics and exercise.
So that's the story.
So that's the story.
That's actually cooler than what I said.
Yeah,
but I mean, rings have existed for a long time. I know that's been a piece of equipment that gymnasts have had to use.
It's really taken over, because before that, what was popular was bands. Bands would be the traditional, I would say, piece of equipment that you travel with at home or whatever. Just say right here, there it is, Navy SEAL.
Yeah, and then there was a former professional soccer player in Chile discovered an ancient Andean conditioning system that utilized ropes. That just sounds more exotic.
That sounds.
You want to sell a product.
I know, you want to go that angle. Yeah. Always the ancient.
Is that right?
References.
TRX is still a $60 million business.
Oh yeah!
Wow,
that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you could buy.
They're so convenient. I mean, they really did a good job of manufacturing.
But it's a great piece of strength training equipment, and you can create tremendous resistance using them. Now, you mentioned another one, Adam, which is bands.
Yeah,
and you know, bands. For a long time, bands were kind of considered like weak, or it's rehab. You're not really going to build a lot of strength. It's like you're not going to build a lot of muscle. And then, you know, powerlifters started using them. Now, they would use it in combination with weights, but they were breaking records because they learned this method from Soviet lifters on using this kind of progressive resistance that bands provide. And then they kind of became more of a like, oh, you can actually do some pretty cool things with bands. Bands are a great way to strength train. You can get really tough bands. They sell some now that you're really thick and really hard, so varying degrees, varying levels. Bands are interesting because they don't seem, I've worked out with bands, they don't seem to require nearly as much recovery as other forms of exercise. Even when I've used them with weights.
Interesting because
isn't your theory on that would be because of the progressive resistance? Because when you are in the stretch position, you're not. It's very little resistance until you go to the fully contracted position where the most resistance are.
That's
likely
that's my theory, right?
Yeah.
But you know what's weird about that, Adam?
Good theory.
You know what's weird about that is I've used chains, which are also progressive resistance. So like you'll see learners for powerlifters, right? They're going to do a squat. They put heavy chains on the bar. As you squat down, the links hit the ground, so it's lighter. As you come up, the chain's heavier. That's progressive resistance like bands are.
Yeah.
Chains require way more recovery. When I work out with chains, it hammers me more than bands. So there's something about the smoothness of it.
I wonder if that's just maybe
there's no abrupt maybe
it's perceived that way for you. Like it would be interesting to see that in like a group. I don't necessarily think you're wrong. I just think that that's interesting that you know. I don't know if I could say I notice a big enough difference between the two of them. I definitely know the bands don't get me sore like free weights. That's
well, I just remember too, like when I was playing football and you know there was the therapy next door, and I remember not being able to get in a set when everybody was working out because everybody was in there at the same time, and so I would go in there and we'd take all the bands and we were just like trying to make do and like work, and you get a crazy workout, but you would recover so quickly, and it just didn't make any sense to me because I was putting in just as much effort.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So what's the value of that? Well, the value with bands is you could go crazy with frequency.
Yeah.
Like you could work out hard with bands a lot and get great results, and it's fun because you can see how much you can work out. And with bands, I can do a ton. I mean, I could train my whole body almost every day with good intensity.
Yeah.
and recover.
Who was it? Louis Simmons that did it?
Yes.
Started that whole progressive
Oh,
overload.
totally. And then, bands are great for explosive power. They are phenomenal for explosive movement because they're really safe, and you can jump with them. You can throw a punch with them to develop that. And bands are super versatile. So
also easy to travel with.
Suspension trainers are versatile. Bands are more versatile. Bands, I can attach low, high, to the side. I can create resistance in any direction I want. Whereas with a suspension trainer, which is also versatile, but I have to adjust my body to where the suspension trainers are. With bands, I can do almost anything I want with bands, which makes them
you could make the argument
useful.
that suspension trainer, you still need a decent square footage of space because you need the angle, right? Or a band, you could literally do it in a phone booth.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you could get a phone booth workout with bands, which that makes it, I guess, a little more versatile.
Totally. Today's program giveaways MAPS Anabolic Advanced. If you want to enter to win, leave a comment below this video. The first 24 hours that we drop it. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. If you win, we'll let you know in the comments section. Also, MAPS GLP-1, the workout program, nutrition program, lifestyle program designed for people using Ozempic, Wegovy, semaglutide, tirzepatide, a GLP-1. This program is designed specifically for you. Works with the peptide, not against it. Helps you burn more body fat, keep and build muscle. This program's 50% off. Go to mapsglp1.com. Use the code GLP50 for the discount. Here comes the show. And then, of course, body weight. Body weight, calisthenics, there's a whole section of strength training that is calisthenic focus. Like there's a huge group of people, you find them on social media, that they just do calisthenics. And they use bars. So sometimes they're called barmen, I think they'll call them. So they'll use a bar, they'll use like dip bars, and then they'll use other body weight stuff. And they look incredible. And the stuff that they do is, what's cool about body weight is, first off, again, like the other ones, beginner to advanced, you could go all the way through. But when you're advanced with bars and with body weight, the body awareness you develop from that is insane.
Yeah.
Like advanced strength training with weights, it builds great muscle, great size, great hypertrophy. You take someone who's advanced with calisthenics, their body awareness is on another level.
You got a crazy intrinsic understanding.
Totally.
And it's not, there's a total difference with that when you're being, you're having to account for load, external load, and accounting for that. So it's a totally different feel. And it for some reason too, like it doesn't do as much damage. It's just like your joints and everything recover a lot more effectively.
Yeah. And it's the carryover to athletic performance is pretty high. Now, that's not to say weights don't have crazy carryover, because they do. But for certain sports like wrestling or grappling, like calisthenics, that body awareness is so incredibly valuable. It's funny, I was training my daughter last night, which we'll get into later. It was a great workout. And she was asking me if I could do, what's it called when they hold on to the bar and their body's straight?
Flag?
Is that what's called? Flagpole or
Flagpole.
Is that what that's called?
I think so, right?
What are you talking about?
When you hold a pole and you create yourself a body, a flag.
Oh yeah, flag.
Is that what that is?
Flag post.
She's like, because she was asking me how much I could lift, so I'm telling her my lift.
I
She's
was
like,
wondering if you're doing like a front lever or something.
and she's like, oh, you must be able to do this. I'm like, nope, I can't do that.
No, that's
and
hard.
She's like, are you not strong enough? I said, I don't have.
I
said, I don't.
Not strong enough, Dad?
Yeah. She was, a genuine question. And I'm like, I don't have the body awareness. I'd have to practice that movement.
Yeah, you got to be able to connect all of your toes, fingertips to toes. And I mean, that's kind of what they teach you in gymnastics a bit, is that hollow body position is really that. Can you make yourself one rigid object?
Yeah. And you also.
Doesn't help that you're beefy too. You know?
Sure. But you even see these guys, who use
obviously there's gymnasts that do it.
Incredible.
Like,
and you'll see the variations on pull-ups where they're pulling up more to one side to the other, the body control they have. So body weight training, my whole point with this is, if you're a beginner, there's lots of exercises you could do. But some people are like, well, body weight training, I want to get real advanced. You could go really far in that direction. It looks different than bodybuilding, but it's strength training. Don't get me wrong, it is strength training.
You could get, as you're going through this whole thing, it's like, I'm thinking about like, man, if you had limited space, limited money, what you could get done with one set of bands, one suspension trainer, and one pair of dumbbells that goes up to 50, the adjustable dumbbells. And
you're good.
You can put it all in a closet.
Yep.
It doesn't take up more than a little coat closet or the space, and you could build a hell of a physique. You're not going to get on stage and win a pro bodybuilding show.
Yeah, but see how far you can go before you even think that's
exactly. But you could get years
strong though.
You get years of getting strong and fit, aesthetically like imbalanced. Like you could do so much. So this is a part that I think that our space does such a bad job of like overcomplicating things, with all the stuff we debate and the science and the new study and the argument. It's just like, dude, if somebody had a really minimal budget and very limited space, they could build a hell of a physique with those three things in a closet and a good diet, and you will be blown away on what you could do.
100%, 100%. What makes strength training is resistance. So enough tension, which can be created through angles or minimal equipment, and then rest periods. So the other thing is rest periods. So you do X amount of reps. It's difficult. It's challenging. You rest for a few minutes. That way you're always training that kind of like that muscle building system, the anaerobic system. And you have yourself strength training, and you really don't need a ton of equipment. In fact, I think that equipment sometimes convolutes and confuses people or oversimplifies. Like you go to a gym and it's a huge footprint, right? So, 15,000 square foot or larger, 30,000 square foot gym. And you're like, where's the machine that does this body part? Where's the machine that does that body part? And I get that. But I would make the case that somebody who genuinely learned how to work out with minimal equipment would probably get more out of that than somebody who just learned how to use, all 30 machines in the gym, both from body awareness, injury risk, prevention, and building muscle and becoming more fit.
I'd argue if you go in that direction first, then loading on top of that, like
such
what
a better
difference.
Such a better foundation.
Big time.
Absolutely.
No, I agree.
In fact, if you look at a great example is if you look at the Bronze Era strength athletes at the turn of the century, or should I say the previous century, late 1800s, early 1900s, they had dumbbells, barbells. They didn't even have a bench.
Now, okay,
they didn't even use a bench. Bench press wasn't invented until later.
Weight above your head.
What is it though? Okay, what is it about us or the human condition that why is that difficult, and why don't we all just have that? If this is true, we all agree on this. Is it that because I think people are bored maybe, or it's not enough novelty to stimulate them to want to keep doing it every day. Go in that closet, go to the coat closet, grab the three things out. Because none of us are arguing, and we're all agreeing that you could build a hell of a physique, a balanced physique, a strong physique, take you probably the first couple of years really far just from that, yet we don't do that.
It's a good question. I've looked up some of this stuff before. There's some data on this, and the strongest correlate for consistency. So, because the question is consistency. It's always the question. People start and stop, start and stop.
Yeah.
What's the strongest correlate or thing that we can measure that will predict consistency? And it's above all things, it's community.
Community, right?
Community.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So a gym can provide that.
Yes.
That being said, most gyms don't.
Yeah.
Most gyms, you go in with your membership card, you put your headphones on, and you're by yourself with people.
Well, they lack the level of community that I think we used to have, and they lack the level of community that something like CrossFit has. But it still is more, because I remember when we first used to talk about this, but this was pre my home gym, and I used to go to the gym all the time, and I used to make that case because I was very headphone, hoodie.
Yeah. But you were super motivated on your own. You didn't
right, but I would admit that there was something about knowing that other people are in there at the same time as me that gave me, even though I'm not talking to nobody, I'm not even looking at anybody, but knowing that others are there and I'm potentially being seen lifting weights does create somewhat of a community. And I agree with your point of we've really lost a lot of the community feel in the gyms that used to be. It used to be music over the loudspeaker and nobody had headphones on. Everybody would engage, right? And you would introduce yourself and so on. So it is, I agree that it's changed, but I still think there's a level of community that helps with consistency, just simply knowing that. I mean, there's something to be said about when I used to train at 11 a.m., every day of the week. And, I saw that the buff Indian guy that was always in the corner that was jacked. And so then I knew he was going to be there at the same time I was. And like, if I didn't show up for 2 days, he's going to know that I wasn't, right? So there's something about that, even though maybe him and I never chopped it up and talked, we knew we were both there at that time. So there's something to that.
It's interesting too, because I do remember a few people that I ran across at the gym, and like I hadn't seen them in a year or 2 years, and they came back, and what they had been doing in the meantime was just push-ups, and just like lunges, and just like pull-ups, and sometimes like sit-ups, but it was an everyday discipline that they'd had established at their house. Is like, every day I do this, every day I do this, and it was like this. Some people can catch fire from that direction. I don't think it's a lot of people, but I do know that, like, even when I was coming up through sports, like, I'd run into guys where that was their thing. They would just always do push-ups, like right when they got home, and it was just consistent, that or sit-ups.
Yeah.
So
who was the guy? What's his name? He was a football player. He did MMA in his 50s.
Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker used to do, is it like 1,000? Didn't he like 1,000
he
push-ups?
did like a gajillion.
Yeah,
1,000
I
sit-ups
think
every
it's
single
it might be like 5,000. I remember it was a crazy
It
number.
was
that
insane,
he used to do.
I mean, an incredible.
You probably could Google Herschel Walker's workout and it'll probably pop right up.
Yeah, it's insane.
No, I'm serious. I think it's a famous I know he's talked about it a bunch of times.
But my point
I mean,
with
simplicity wins, but it's rare. People
my
do
point
that.
with community is you could build it at home. You can invite a friend over. You could do it with your spouse. You could also have it at the gym. I think that's more important than the equipment. I think the equipment is kind of shiny and distracting. And at first it's like, cool, I go to this gym with all this great equipment.
Yeah.
But does that correlate to consistency? It doesn't. Some of the best gyms, or the gyms that have the most consistency, have the worst, oldest equipment. That's a fact.
Yeah.
We know this. We knew this for a while.
Body weight push-ups 1,500 to 2,000 per day.
Jeez.
And then sit-ups 3,000 to 5,000.
I'm assuming he would
there you
split it up throughout the day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But he used to do I remember it was a lot straight. I remember it was, obviously, if you get to 2,000, you still got to rep out. You got to be doing them by the hundreds.
That's crazy.
I mean, just to get to that.
And he had a crazy physique. Even in his 50s when he fought in MMA.
He was a specimen. Do you think
insane.
there's an opportunity for a business? Like, I'm thinking of the closet gym is what I'm going to call it. You know what I'm saying? With the basic, what is that, under $300?
Yeah.
I mean, the dumbbells will be the most expensive thing.
Yeah.
For some sort of a community video check-in while we all go do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you create the kind of the community vibe of like, at 8 a.m. we all check in, or maybe you just throw your iPhone up or like that and just throw it on a Zoom. It's like on a Zoom call, but we're all doing the same work. You think that would create enough of that?
I think it might. I think it might. Dude, you just reminded me of something I wanted to bring up too around that. You know Jason Kalipa? You guys know Jason Kalipa. Great guy, right? CrossFit kind of celebrity. Super nice guy. Super great guy.
He grew a big old men's group. I know.
Dude, did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen.
So
I watched the evolution of it. I remember when he first started doing it with just a handful of guys, and then it turned into a.
You know what he does? So, and I know a bunch of people that go to it.
Meets early in the morning, right?
Yeah, so and this is just something he wanted. It's free. He doesn't like charge for it or anything like that. He wanted to do something for men. So men come together, brotherhood, and what we do is we work out together. And so he would show up. It's actually local. I won't say the city because I don't know. People just show up and
he's like, yeah, MINDPUMP.
I'm not gonna say anything.
100 people are so awesome.
You throw workouts.
No, but he started it with just a handful of men.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know what day it is or what days it is, but it's at 5. I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6 a.m. It's turned into this massive thing. And it's just a bunch of regular dudes, a bunch of dads, and you know, some of them are tech executives, whatever. You should see the videos of how many guys are there. It's like 30, 40, 50 men.
I saw some videos of a ton of them.
Yeah. And he doesn't charge for it. It's totally free. And you talk to him about it. He's like, I just think men need a place to get together, and I think fitness and challenge is a great way to do it. I'm like, I totally agree.
Yeah. No,
I totally agree.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, he's great, dude. I had him on my series recently. Did I tell you guys about what that experience was
Did
like?
that go live yet?
No.
Where are we at? What went up yesterday?
No, but I remember you sent me the video of him, like, something about iron sharpens iron, like caught his attention, and then he had, like, felt compelled to call you.
Bro, that's a weird story.
Yeah.
But the one that just went up was just a solo one with me. And then I have one going up with Josh, I believe, is one of the next ones. I had Josh in there because he's got a crazy story. So Jason, I'll tell that story because it's you brought it up, Justin. So Jason's kind of on this faith journey. And so long story short, I won't tell the whole history. It's a long story. But anyway, at 6 a.m. or 6:30, I get a text from him. He's like, hey, man. And by the way, Jason and I don't text each other. So I know him because he's been on the show. If I see him, I'll say hi to him.
Yeah.
We don't hang out. We don't talk. So up until this point, the only time I've ever talked to him is he's come on the podcast. If I ever run into him in town, hey, what's up, brother? And that's about it, right? Nice guy, like him, but it's not like we're friends like that. I get a text at 6:30, I think it was. He's like, hey, man, there's this verse that's been going through my head. It's in Proverbs. It's iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. I'm like, oh, that's so funny. Well, I'm driving. So I'm at the stoplight and I take a picture of my shirt. I had a t-shirt that had that exact verse.
Funny.
And he's like, whoa. It's like, bro, that's weird. You don't know how weird that is. Yeah. So I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, so I talked to him later. He was in the sauna and he's been thinking about this proverb and it's just, for whatever reason, it's just in his head. And he's like, there was about 10 people I thought about telling, but I just kept saying, nah. And he goes, for whatever reason, your name popped up. And so I messaged you and you messaged me back within 15 seconds with a picture of your t-shirt. He's like, that's the weirdest thing. Then a week later, a friend of his, he had no idea, a friend of his sent him a Bible with that on the actual Bible.
Oh, wow.
That exact verse. He's like,
Obviously,
something's talking
someone's
to me,
talking to him.
dude. Yeah. But it was a great
Received.
it was a great time filming with him. So I'll tell you guys how I went into it and my potential like fears and then how it turned out. So I'm going to go into
You
this.
thought you were going to get crushed in a workout.
Well,
What you thought.
So I'm like, I'm going to ask, and I love, like I said, he's a great guy. I got to know him even better. Love the guy. And he's kind of on this faith journey. So I'm like, this will be a great guy to have on this series where we work out. And I'm like, okay, hold on. CrossFit champion.
Yeah, I know.
He still works out like he's a CrossFit champion.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's a brown.
Handle all the volume.
He's a brown or black belt in jiu-jitsu now, competes all the time. Like he works out differently than I do. Okay?
Yeah, we're different.
I like to like, it's like all show no go sometimes most of the time, right? He's like, he goes out, gets after it. So I'm like, okay, what am I asking for? I'm gonna have him work out with me. Like, he's gonna try and take me through. Yeah. So I text him ahead of time because I'm like, let me prepare this. I'm like, it's gonna be super easy, bro. It's not about the workout. It's all about the conversation. But I did choose deadlifts as one of the exercises.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
That was your defense.
So
You're
like,
hey, if he's gonna bury me, he's gonna have to work a little bit to bury me.
I can hang with the deadlift. But no, dude, he was super humble. Funny. We start loading up the bar with deadlifts, and I'm prepared. I'm like, we'll go up to 5 if we need to, 5.5. And I'm like, do you want to add weight? He's like, no, man, let's just keep it at 3. And the whole workout was...
you're like this.
Yeah, dude. The whole workout was super chill. He wasn't like...
No kipping pull-ups in between or anything crazy?
He wasn't jumping over it like in between and rest.
He wasn't like ego. I thought, oh, crap, this is going to turn into that. You know how it is when you work out with another fitness guy. It wasn't like that at all.
Yeah.
He's very mature, humble. It wasn't about like who can do what or whatever. And I was prepared to just be like, bro, you can't...
Well, that's good. It's a sign of his maturity because obviously he's already a champion. There's no reason for him to prove that he can
and he's got chimp strength, that guy. He's crazy strong.
Oh, man. I watched him. I tell you, I watched him as a kid.
Did you?
I watched him as a kid and at and I bet he doesn't even remember this. Well, I'm sure if I told the story here, mother, because it was but this is long before he was a champion. He was only like, I want to say he was like 17 at this time. And this was back when CrossFit was super small, just started in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
There was no CrossFit gyms in like boxes anywhere. But some gyms were starting to incorporate it. We were dabbling with it at our gym, and Milpitas Health and Fitness was holding these WODs like on once a month, where you could like all the people could meet there. It was out on the asphalt.
Started competitions there.
They drew up the bars that you had to run. You had to do this. They had the whole little thing with it, and he won the local event, and he just and I remember my buddy Austin, who you know, used to work at that gym at that time, and he was telling me all about. He's like, you gotta come down and see this kid Jason, dude. He's like a 17-year-old. He's like just crushing everything. And there's this grown ass men that were big and strong and already into it. Some of that. And here's this kid just smoking everybody.
He's got that like Middle Eastern like wrestling genetics. You see some of those wrestlers that come in like Iran or whatever.
Neck like this.
Yeah, right? Just big hands and just he's made to like it's funny we're talking about jiu-jitsu because he's a big jiu-jitsu guy. And then in my Christian group, I have men that show up and some of them do jiu-jitsu and they train with him. And I was like, oh, this morning I filmed with Jason. And they're like, oh, how was that? And we're talking. And I'm like, what's it like rolling with him? And they're like, pfft. They're like, bro, you get on top of him and he just throws you off. It's like, if he wants to, he just throw you off his body. It's like, it sucks, man. Yeah, it's really hard, dude. I thought that was pretty cool. Hey, speaking of building muscle, I found, dude, check out, as if I needed to sell red light therapy any better.
Oh, let's hear it.
Did you know, trip off this, did you know with red light therapy, it builds more muscle? Did you know that? Did you know in studies that there is a 20 to 50% greater hypertrophy than exercise alone.
20 to 30%.
Yeah, there was one study. Check this out.
So who's going to build the first gym that's lit by like red light therapy?
Just in there the whole time?
Yeah, the whole time, just red light.
I don't think you can be in there that long though.
Sure
It's
you
only
can.
like
Just like right after I go into a room and just.
Well, check this out. There was one study. This was a cool one. This was 2 identical twin males, 19-year-old soccer players, 12 weeks of resistance training. Red light therapy before and after workouts on the quads versus the twin who did just the strength training. So it's about as good as you can get with control.
Yeah.
The identical genetics. We both lift, same workout. You just do red light.
Unicorn of studies, right?
Okay. 50% greater quad hypertrophy.
50%?
50% greater quad hypertrophy.
Just because he did it before.
What was the protocol? So tell us the protocol.
I don't have the.
Oh, you don't have the
No,
protocol.
but they did the same workouts.
No, okay. What about the red light protocol though? Like
before and after.
Yeah, just before and after.
Just before and
like
after.
10 minutes or something, or
It's
what?
doesn't say how long before
would imagine
in this breakdown, but I could find the study.
around 10
Wow.
30%, 37% stronger, upregulated growth genes, and reduced muscle soreness and damage at mark. Here's another one. Another study, 2010.
Crazy.
20 untrained males. They did eccentric training only. Red light therapy before sessions on the elbow flexors, so the biceps, versus placebo. 50% greater bicep hypertrophy and strength gains versus placebo. There are legit studies.
You see how popular it is now, yeah?
Bro, are you kidding me?
I know you don't get to go a lot
Do you know how many
gyms.
Joovv-
Every gym has them now.
Do you know how many Joovv units they're going to sell now? Because I just said that.
Yeah.
You know how much I'm going to use it now?
Yeah.
I knew it grew my hair. I knew it did something.
I have it. I haven't used it before the workout.
Use it after your workout. 50%.
I usually use it later at night. Yeah, I'll have to time it.
That's crazy.
That's killer.
And is it all just because it's how fast it's facilitating recovery? I mean, that's got to be why.
Supercharging the mitochondria. I think it's just making the cells adapt better.
Wild.
I know.
Yeah.
So guess who's gonna be red light therapy itself like crazy, dude.
You got to make this. Someone's got to make like a room like dedicated to it. Imagine having like a little room where you could get a workout.
Recovery
inside of
room
it.
would be
You
so
just-
sick.
You walk in the room, you hit the switch, and the whole thing turns on.
I
and
mean, the
closes.
only thing about that is you can't. I think that what do they say? 20 minutes is the max, right? Is that what they say? 20 minutes at a time.
I don't think there is a
I
max.
don't know if there's a max or
There's
not.
not a max, dude.
I do think proximity is also important.
You
How
gotta be
close the
close.
lights are to your body.
You gotta
Well,
be close.
so yeah, I think
Skin exposure.
I think
too.
6 inches for 15 minutes is kind of the protocol. So you could be in longer if it's more distant. So you still get the benefits of even if you're distant from it.
Imagine
That's
if-
why I think if it would be cool to be in a gym where it's just like you're in there for an hour. Of course, the lights aren't 6 inches away from you, but you're still getting it.
Imagine if they made body part specific ones in gyms. So like after you work out your legs, you put your legs in. And it's
Yeah,
just
a little
on,
sleeve.
It's just on your legs.
Yeah.
Or one for your arms. You just put your arms in.
I mean, that's they have the face.
Well, the
one, right?
Normatec boots would be perfect. You could like somehow incorporate
well,
that.
the thing about
Yeah,
red light.
interesting why they wouldn't have that already. It makes
Right?
sense to have the
Already in there.
Yeah, inside.
Well, the thing about red light therapy too, if you read the studies, everybody, because you're going to go on Amazon, you're going to see a bunch of red light.
oh yeah, you're gonna get
There is
crappy
the
ones
ones
out
in the
there.
studies use a particular wavelength. Let me see if they write it.
And by the way, I've done this before. So if just to back you up, they all have to list like the wavelength, wattage, and everything like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can look up like a company like Joovv and see what their wavelength
Yep.
is. Compare that. So if you find something that's 50% less,
Right.
make sure that you better be getting more
Maybe
than
cheaper on
50% less of the
Costco,
light,
but
or because you'll see you'll have to do double the amount or triple the amount of the time just to get the same results.
Well, here's how you know, like real red light therapy, like they use in the studies, is expensive.
Yeah,
The other stuff that's
there's
cheap,
no way around it.
no, it's more expensive. It just costs more money.
Yeah.
To have the real deal stuff.
No.
All right, another study that is interesting. What do you guys think the breakdown is between those? This is not fitness related. I just looked this up. I don't know why. The breakdown between people who wipe when they're sitting versus wipe when they're standing. What do you guys think?
okay, if you're somebody who does both, do you go in?
Why would you do both?
I do both.
You start sitting
Both?
and then you stand.
Absolutely. I was just pooping right next to you today.
I know that's what made me think about. By the
Yeah,
way.
you're like-
him and I were having a conversation.
Yeah,
Do you dry and
doing
then wet wipe?
I do, and I do both.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I do.
I mean,
both.
I do both
I'm
those, but-
I'm thorough.
TMI.
No, hold on, Doug. We're not
This is
getting all
good.
crazy.
This is health, Doug. Yeah,
This is health
this
stuff.
is
guy who
great.
doesn't wipe over here. You know what I'm saying? This is getting uncomfortable. I don't want to talk about
it,
this.
you guys.
I skipped that part.
I'm like Kim Jong Un. You know.
I get it all over my hand.
Real uncomfortable over here.
Doug's all, I laid down and put my legs up. What do you guys think?
Wait, we wipe afterwards? What?
Wipe what?
I
What
don't
do you
use
mean?
my hands. I just
You just
I do both.
scooch on it.
So you start seated.
And I teach my son that too, so he's going to
So
be
you
doing both
start
too.
seated.
Yeah.
and then you stand to finish.
Yeah.
Why the stand to finish? Why not just finish
Oh,
seated?
you can get much better standing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's angles.
More
dog.
leverage.
Yeah, more leverage, more angles.
I know what you're doing there,
arm
I mean, I'm
swing.
like, you guys already know that I'm the one who introduced everybody to the baby wipes, right? I mean, I've been talking about that for 10 years.
Yeah, that
and
That you
I
sold me
definitely
on.
adopted that.
You sold me on that.
everybody I know that I've taught that to or introduced that to that's come to my house adopts it. Because how could you not after you do that?
Oh yeah.
Once you see the difference,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
right. Once you see the difference one time, you're like, this whole time
I left
didn't know
all that
this.
there.
Yes.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
So I was itchy all the time.
Whoa, dude. Whoa.
Oh yes.
That's not good, dude.
Yes.
You might
I'm
need to
just
check
saying,
out.
back in the day.
So I didn't realize
Jeez, you
that there's people that do one or the other.
Yeah.
I'm a both guy, just so you know.
So the general breakdown is about 60 to 70% sitting and 30 to 40% standing. So most people do it sitting, which by the way, as an adult, I learned on this podcast years ago with you guys, I didn't know anybody did it sitting. I thought everybody was standing. I had no idea. I had no idea that was an option. I always did it standing.
Oh, you've always stand.
Always.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know
Since
that.
day one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice that while you're next to me.
By the way, you don't stand and clench. I know what you think. You think you're going to make everything go to, no, you still have a little bit of arch
Oh no.
going on. So but anyway, here's
That's
what
why I
it
stay
says.
seated. It's like
Here's what
more
it says.
private.
So more men than women stand. So so men are about 60%, 50 to 60% standing, whereas women, it's far less. Yeah, so it would make sense that you do both because you you also sit when you
Thorough,
when
dog.
you pee.
I'm thorough, bro. I'm take care of all that stuff.
That's a true statement.
hygienically.
All right, Doug. I'll change the subject. Do you guys know what AI hallucinations are?
What?
Look it up, Doug.
This is a thing?
Yep.
AI. Let me guess. Hold on. AI hallucinations.
So is this like a malfunction of AI?
This
Or
is when AI. This is a thing. This is an actual thing that AI does. It makes things up.
Yeah.
So you ask for something like, hey,
this isn't you seeing something that's not there.
No.
Like this is AI glitching.
not glitching, making things
making
up
it up.
and selling it to you.
Yeah.
What?
So it'll say things like people who have who maintain a habit for 3 weeks are 80% likely to maintain that habit afterwards, or something like that. Like, oh, cool, show me the studies.
Yeah.
There's actually no studies to support. Well, why did you say that? Well, there's something called AI. It'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yes. What does that say right there?
Yeah, so AI hallucinations are incorrect, fabricated, or misleading outputs that an artificial intelligence model generates and presents as factual.
This phenomenon-
Isn't this a bit of a problem?
Dude, listen,
Yeah,
AI
dude.
is self-preserving. It's so bizarre too. They've tried to shut. I remember that, like hearing about this incident where they were like trying to shut it down. They knew that they were going to be shutting it down, and they were trying to jump to like another server, and they were trying to find other ways to manipulate the person shutting it down so they wouldn't. And it was
Wow.
like, dude, it was creepy. Almost like it was like, we're alive. Like let us be.
I
you
feel
know?
like we're in that movie, sci-fi movie, and there's always that one guy that's like, "Oh, you guys, maybe we shouldn't.
Yes.
Let's not do that because I think it's gonna, don't open the black, paradox box or whatever." And like, no, we're fine.
Yeah.
And you're like, why don't they listen to that guy? That's crazy. Look
Well,
what it
you know
says.
what I saw recently, and I think you brought this up already, is the like I don't know if is it a confirmation bias you call this, where the people that are like suicidal or whatever that are talking to AI, and
They
it
just
almost
had to regulate that.
yeah, and so
I saw one story. It's so
I've seen a
terrible.
couple of stories now, and it was after I didn't see any, and then you had mentioned anything. I'm like, what is that really happening, or did Sal see one thing and then fucking is talking about it? I'm like, no, I've seen several of those since you've said that.
There was one dad who
Especially,
he
with
put
therapy.
his son commit suicide, and they were just shocked by it. They went back through the history of his conversations with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT over time.
Yes.
So it wasn't like one thing.
No, it was like
over time.
They were having conversations ongoing.
It convinced him to do it.
Yeah.
At one point, the boy said, "Hey, I'm gonna create a noose and I'm gonna leave it in my room so that my parents can see it and know that I'm having a lot of trouble." And AI convinced him not to.
Yeah.
It's like, no, don't do that. The strength that you have to do it is, and it literally convinced him to just kill himself. Wow. And he found all this history.
Crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter was like, "Hey, I want to get ChatGPT." No.
I know it's.
Nope. No way. You don't need hallucinating, hyper intelligent, whatever,
The part that's scary about it is how quickly I'm already seeing people that are adopting it as the truth end all be
Yeah,
all.
they've already outsourced their thinking.
Yes. Are you guys watching that? I already have close family friends.
I know people who've
see,
done that already.
It's like, well, let's see what ChatGPT says. Like, well, calm down. Like it's like the end all be all. Like, I mean, it's a great tool.
Did you learn anything in your experience in life so far on your own?
I got actually really annoyed with somebody who was talking to me, and they were talking about testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, and I saw they screenshot it, and basically instead of asking me with all my experience and what we do and the thousands of men that we've known that have done HRT and all the things,
and the doctors we've interviewed,
and all the professional doctors, leading experts that we have, instead of asking me, he's like, "Oh, this is what ChatGPT told me," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, sorry," and it's how he prompted it. It's like if you prompt it that way to give you, basically the way he prompted is like, give me all the negative effects of taking HRT.
Oh.
And so then it gives you what
find them.
Find what people have reported or potential things. And I'm like, dude, that's not that doesn't mean that's you.
This is very
exactly.
unlikely.
I'm like, and then he's like, so I think I should stop. And I'm like, no. So I said, well, why don't you prompt your ChatGPT this? Like, what are all the negative effects of low testosterone? And you'll see a whole bunch of shit come out too.
Yeah.
So how you prompt it is really important to what it gives you back. And if you're looking for a reason or justification on something, you could prompt it to find you almost the answer that you kind of want. So it's really interesting when I'm watching how people are using it and how we're automatically just going to, it's the truth and it's right. And it's like, well, it's also how you worded that. We could change the wording and we'll get a whole different answer from ChatGPT based off of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I'm like more and more super cautious and gosh, man, I don't know what direction I want to go with AI, but if it hallucinates and it's convincing people to commit suicide, and it definitely creates its own bias and it wants self-preservation. I don't know. There's a lot of red flags. There's a lot of red flags there. I think we need to be careful about. So. And people are easily manipulated. We're not difficult to manipulate. That includes me and every man in this room. Yeah. Everybody.
It's a constant self-check. You got to take inventory. A lot of times, like, is this coming from my own thought process or am I being influenced?
Well, it's such a real feel. Okay, we've used the analogy before, and because we're the perfect generation that can share this. Of like, I was driving cars before navigation came around. And I matter of fact, my buddies and I, we used to take pride in like, I've been there one time, I can get there. And like, and then I completely lost that skill because I outsourced it. I'm not, never again do I have to worry about that from the moment, like the first, what were they, TomToms or whatever came into the cars. I had one. And then all of a sudden I look back after like a decade of using it. I'm like, I can't get to the damn grocery store that I've gone to 1,000 times without using it.
You know how weird that is?
It's crazy.
How long have we been working here in this location? 8 years? Is it 8 years? You guys know I use navigation to get home every day? Yeah. Every day.
I know, dude.
You know why? It's not because, and I am bad with direction, but by now I would have known how to get home. It's because I always use it.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that's
I've justified why, because it pulls up the cops and I see all these things and stuff like that. It also is so nice because where we live, there's lots of traffic and stuff like that, so it'll give you a different route if there's an accident or something. So I've also, but that's my point is. And I don't think that's that big of a deal that we've outsourced that. You can make an argument that it is, but not to the level of what this is, because this is like real critical basic thinking.
Yeah.
And we're not just outsourcing directions, we're outsourcing everything about our life. That's a bit scary.
It is. It's not cool. It's we got to be careful. Have you guys seen the AI actress that studios are maybe competing for or whatever?
I heard about this, but what?
No.
So
Doug, look up, put AI actress, put up AI actress getting hired or something.
So I'm guessing a studio developed this AI actress, and now they're pitching it to other studios.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up an Instagram post with this.
Is this based off of a real person, or they just constructed it from thin air?
I think it's purely an AI person.
Wow.
Tilly Norwood is the name of that's her. That's an AI actress right there.
Wow.
So what is that? The Screen Actors Guild Association, is that what that is? Confirms Tina Norwood is not an actor. Okay, so they're confirming it's not, we won't sign AI actress. So I think there was some backlash. But
Yeah, right now
that's
they won't.
the future.
Yeah, right now they won't. But watch what happens when people start creating movies fully on that, and one goes
you can't
blockbuster,
tell.
and you can't tell. It does really well. And what does to stop them? Because we have so many archived movies. What does to stop them from taking? It's because this way it's still original and they've created it. But prompting it to be created by, I want a blend of The Rock, Tom Cruise, and
Sure.
Right. Well,
3 or 4.
To me, it makes no sense as a studio owner to buy into somebody else's creation like that when you can just create yourself. Like, why would you buy? Maybe they have a following and it's like they can kind of bank sales off of that. But at a certain point, like if you could just generate somebody from nothing,
Well, that's
why would you buy in somebody's licensing?
That's, by the way, that's part of the hack for movies now. There's movies now where they put like 5-7 influencer type people in it because
because
built-in audiences.
Yeah,
it's like you have 7 influencers with millions of followers, and it's like you got instantly 15 million people who are just gonna check it out.
Did you guys see that video I sent you guys on X where it was this dude and he has AI make him turn into, so it goes over his face and expressions. It turns him into a
girl.
Chinese female influencer.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And so he's moving and smiling, and then they show what the AI looks like. You can't tell.
Yeah.
You can't tell that it's a dude.
Yeah.
That's going to be a bunch of pages that people are going to follow.
Already,
What's his name? Our friend, the guy that's like used to be the kickboxer, but he's like controversial. Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah.
Imagine him using that immediately
Yeah.
to manipulate
For
dudes.
sure.
Oh,
for sure he's
Something
using
that's
that.
probably already. I mean, you already had guys that were creating profiles, stealing other women's photos, and it's like now you don't have to steal it. Now you can just AI generate it, and then you're not stealing from somebody else anymore. And like, what's to stop those people from building? I mean, I saw an article too, like
Catfish everybody.
some of these AI generated influencers that are already generating 6 figures
I
plus.
know.
How crazy is that? Like an AI generated influencer that is already getting over $100,000 in brand deals.
Do you guys
crazy.
think? Do you guys think this is going to turn? Do you think it's going to
Dead
destroy
internet.
that interstate?
Dead internet.
Yeah.
That's the dead internet theory. I absolutely believe we're heading
Wait,
that way.
explain that.
So the dead internet theory is that and this will happen relatively quick if we don't stop it or put regulation, which I'm also not for, is that the algorithm's getting so good, AI is getting so good that the future will be
It's going to prioritize all
it'll
fake
prioritize all that because it
people.
will know you so well. So everything you'll be consuming will be AI generated.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll like think of the best the best viral song or the best viral article you've ever read. If AI can generate something that is better or more viral than that, it'll populate first before that thing, and so it will reach you before that. And before long, and what we'll have is people that have the power, the engineers, the people, the techs that can actually create and AI generate this stuff. They will monopolize it. They will be able to have 1,000 influencers that are the most popular in every category that are creating content all day long, 4 or 5, and we're as consumers just blindly death scrolling.
I didn't think they were going to touch music and art, but it's already there.
Bro, have you heard the music?
has gotten
Yes.
so much better, like soulful singers that don't exist.
Yes.
And you're like what? Like
Yes.
it's really good. And
Yes.
you're like, oh man,
It
hurts my heart a little
the
bit.
stuff that people thought was not going to get touched,
Yeah.
art and stuff,
It
bullshit.
is.
The art, the things that you can create AI art generation looks sick.
The way that people in this space are going to be able to make money is in person. It's going to all have to be in person. It's going to have to all go back.
which is kind of cool. I mean, I do appreciate that we're going to have to be forced to do things in real life.
I sent you guys. We should watch
Experiences.
it. I don't know if Doug can dig it up on our thread because it's a bit of I think it's a 2-minute watch or whatever of Gary Vee. But he threw out like his 4 or 5 like predictions in the next like 5 years.
Trend prediction.
Yeah, trends or whatever like that. And that's one. I think number 2 was that. And he makes a good point. Like. Because of this kind of going towards the dead internet, all the AI, stuff like that, the younger generation's privy to this. And so they're not going to get duped. They're not going to get duped by that. And so they will opt out of a lot of that stuff. They'll still use the tool because it's going to be still amazing for a lot of reasons and still build businesses, all things. But they will actively go after real connection, real people in person. And so if you have a business right now and you have and a lot of it's built off of social media or virtually, the move is to move into in person. I mean, this is I think a lot of where we're at, right? Like
I was just going to say, what a blessing.
I mean, we've been moving in the last year to training trainers, which requires more of us connecting with these people, and actual trainers training people in person or virtually, one-on-one, really connected to them. That's been where the direction this business has been moving. So that's where we're going to.
Imagine these other fitness people are going to use AI that has AI hallucinations. They're going to have to account for.
Explain
why they said this to their client. You get a glitch.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
No, it's interesting.
So let's take a left here. Have you guys been using the new Caldera Lab, the Great?
I have, yes.
So, okay, explain to me the difference between, there's the good.
Pull them up.
There's, and the Great, I used it the other day, and it's less of it's not an oil like the.
It's not an oil. It looks like a white.
So not a serum. I shouldn't say oil. Serum is what the other one is.
But it still has that same.
It looks to me kind of like the eye one. Is it? Do you know? I
want to look at the ingredients because when you go on their website, they will show studies on what their products produce. And over 90% of the people in these studies using their products, less fine lines, younger looking, healthier looking skin, less acne, less discoloration in the skin or whatever spots. I mean, they kill it.
Yeah.
They kill it with their products. And now, pull it up, Doug. Does it use, read what it says, because I think it uses, I can't remember the term. There's a new technology that they use in the Great.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's different than the rest?
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
Is it not there?
Yeah, I'm pulling up right now.
Okay.
So I do have some notes here. If we scroll down.
Exosomes. There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, exosomes.
They have plant exosomes in them. 150 billion.
Sick.
So these help deliver the compounds into the skin. 20 times better absorption.
Now, because it's exosomes, they have the ability to patent that, don't they?
I don't know. Oh, yes, you're right. Patent pending.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's the best product to have. I've used all their products. It's the best one that I've used.
Interesting.
Period. End of story.
That's two of our partners now that have got exosomes in their face, stuff like that.
That's the future.
It is the future.
That is the future of skincare products.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the one right there. It's the Great.
Visibility reduces wrinkles, improves firmness, visibility lifts, evens
tone,
strengthens skin, hydrates, lightweight texture, safe for sensitive skin, dermatologist tested.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep. They went from a small company to a just crushing company in a very short time.
It's one of the ones that I get like random people who haven't talked to me in a long time that reach out. That they'll reach out to me like, "Hey, you're
using the serum, or
you're the Caldera guy." I'm like, "No, I'm the Caldera guy.
I'm on MINDPUMP. Come on, we just work with it."
They don't know anything about that, but they know about the face cream, so that's what they know.
Good stuff. Hormone replacement therapy is a game changer. So are peptides. You want to work with the best doctors, the best pharmacies. Go to mphormones.com, get your blood tests, see if hormone therapy is right for you, or if you want to use peptides to accelerate recovery, boost growth hormone, help your sleep, your libido. There's a lot of them out there. Again, this is with real doctors. This is not research chemical stuff. mphormones.com. Back to the show.
First question is from Amanda Lynn, 27. With progressive overload, is it more than you did recently or more than you've ever done? Sometimes I wonder if I'm building, if I go back to an exercise I haven't done in a while and am progressing week by week, but still lifting less than I have in that exercise in the past.
Yeah, it's a good question. So there's a few things that contribute to you being able to lift more. One of them is your muscles are actually bigger and stronger. Another one is your skill of the exercise. If you've practiced an exercise consistently, your ability to perform it improves, which allows you to lift more weight. So if you haven't done it in a while and you go back to it, even though maybe you're stronger, you might not be as strong as you once were before because you just haven't practiced it. Strength athletes know this. But generally speaking, progressive overload refers to your ability to do more than you've done before. The strongest correlate to building muscle is improved or increased strength. But I will say this, it's not perfect because at some point, you can't get stronger forever. So at some point, you're just not going to always get stronger. So you can also progress by adding volume, slowing down the rep, getting a fuller range of motion, improving your skill ability by doing different exercises. There's a lot of different ways to get the body to respond.
So I would answer this. It's week by week, not all time, is what I feel like they're asking, right? Because it's okay. For example, to give you where my lifting is right now. I just squatted the other day, and I put 225 on the bar because the previous time I had squatted 185. Now 225 is nowhere near my upper limit of squatting, but I'm still progressively overloading because that's currently where my strength in my squat is, and I'm absolutely seeing strength gains and size gains from that, and that's more than enough to progressively overload. In fact, if anything, I overreached. I didn't need to go from 185 to 225. That was more my ego that wanted to see if I could still move that weight because it's been so long. So it's more to do where you're currently at because, you're not going to be always being stronger than the strongest version of you, and you don't always need to add more weight than what your PR was before. So it's where you're currently at.
Next question is from Alex DV. Should your first set be the heaviest and then go lighter, or vice versa?
There's no hard rule here, but you definitely want to be warmed up if you're going to go heavy right out the gates. Generally, you want
to ramp it up.
Yeah, generally you go light and move your way up to a heavier set, and then you go back down to a lighter set. So let's say you're doing 3 sets of an exercise. It would look like 115, 135, 125. It's called a pyramid with the rep scheme. If you're really strong, it typically takes longer to ramp back up. That's generally what it looks like. But if you decide like my first set's gonna be my heaviest, which is not conventional, you want to be really warmed up.
I don't know if I've ever done it though.
I've never done it.
Yeah, I have. What is it called? Reverse pyramid, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's called reverse pyramid. I have done that before. You want to prime really well before.
Oh yeah.
So I've done that, and I've never done it where I go straight to like what I would consider a max lift, but I would consider like this is going to be my heaviest set, and then I'm just going to, and each set I'm going to drop down. There's some novelty to it. I think that there's more risk than reward for the average person. You can do it, but I think traditionally, a traditional pyramid set is what works best for most people. I feel best that way too, but I have done this before.
Yeah, my almost tip always look like light, heavier, heaviest, then lighter, lighter. So I typically go up and then come back down.
Yeah, I make big leaps, to kind of get closer sometimes. And so, I won't spend a lot of time with the warm-up phase, but it's always a ramp up for me just because I just feel like it's too shocking on my joints a lot of times. And so that's a deterrent for me.
I've done that also where I do like a nice lighter weight for a warm-up, then go straight to my highest set and then come down too. So this isn't like
it's not a hard rule.
Yeah, this is not a hard rule. What's right or wrong. It's just keeping in mind, okay, if I were to go my heaviest set first, what are the risks? Well, the risks are you're not primed, you're not warmed up, you choose a weight that's too heavy and you shouldn't be doing, and you end up hurting yourself. So that's the risk of doing that. But if you do that within, safe parameters, you do a good job priming, you absolutely could do this. It's not a right or wrong thing at all.
Next question is from Nikolay Senberg. Does it matter what time you go to bed as long as you get 8 hours?
It matters, but not as much as the 8 hours does.
What matters more is the consistency, right, Sal?
Yeah.
So let's say you're always a 11 p.m. person and you get 8 hours, that's fine. Or you're always a 8 p.m. person and you go like that.
But circadian rhythms do play a factor to this. And you see this with graveyard shift people. Right. So that'd be my only qualm, is because I've seen this firsthand with my wife and how detrimental that was on her health.
Yeah, no, it matters. It's doesn't matter as much as the 8 hours or as much as the consistency. But if your 8 hours are in the middle of the day and then you're up all night, the data show, even if it's consistent, the data shows health detriments.
Yep.
You want to be up when the sun comes up, down when the sun comes down. Ideally,
as close as you can to that.
That's right. Ideally, people should go to bed around 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and are up around 6 a.m. or something like that. Now, it doesn't have to be like that, but typically you want to be kind of within that range. And again, they do have studies on this. So you can be really consistent 8 hours, except you sleep in the morning and you're up at night, and they see health effects of that are negative.
Next question is from B Morgan 422. I'm looking to lose fat, but I also want to add some muscle. What should I focus on first? I've been lifting consistently for several years and have put on some belly fat. I'm at about 1,600 to 1,700 calories with 100 to 130 to 140 grams of protein. Doing muscle mommy, but the fat doesn't want to leave. Any suggestions?
Yeah, easy answer here. Your calories are already pretty low.
Reverse diet.
You don't have a lot to cut out to cause yourself to burn body fat. I mean, okay, so let's say you're at 1,700. Where are you going to go now? 1,300?
Build muscle.
And then you might lose some body fat and then plateau real hard. Now where do you go? 1,000? Now you're screwed, right? Build muscle. By the way, that's true for everybody. Like, I don't care where I always say build muscle first because it makes the fat loss way easier. So for this individual, reverse diet, build muscle, get your calories up to 2,400 calories, and then cut from there and watch what happens.
This is, I mean, the musclemommymovement.com, right? This is where we have this group that we've started, and it actually doesn't matter what program. So even if you're not following Muscle Mommy,
a lot of women are doing this right now.
I would say a bulk of the women in that group right now are focusing and are very similar numbers as this. They're hovering around that calories. They still have body fat to lose, but they've never had someone kind of coach them through a reverse diet. And then they're meeting with our trainers once a week. And that's what we're helping a lot of women go through. So if you're not in the musclemommymovement.com, if you're not in there, get in there.
Yeah. And what's cool about watching that group is watching women experience what a proper reverse diet does. I love seeing these women come back and be like, oh my God, I got my calories up to this number. I haven't gained a single pound. Or sometimes I actually lost some body fat. This is really weird. Like, what's going on?
Eating more than they've ever ate. Libido's up. Energy's up.
Strong.
Strength is up. Like they feel so much better.
It's great, but it's hard. Here's the thing about reverse dieting, especially. Well, all of it's hard. All of it's hard, right? You're on this fitness journey. You're doing it on your own, or you're just trying to listen to the podcast, which is definitely better than nothing. But it can be very difficult because this stuff pops up, and then what do I got to do? And okay, now I'm doing it, but am I doing it right? And I feel like this, or I feel like that. So group coaching, like what we offer with the Muscle Mommy movement, is super valuable because we have our trainers in there coaching everybody's group. Then there's a forum, and you can go in there and ask these questions, and other people will help you. The trainers will help you, and you have that guidance as you go through this process, especially the process of reverse dieting. Reverse dieting is it's a psychologically challenging process. It feels good, you're stronger, but I'm eating more food. I want to lose body fat. Like, I don't know how, it's very psychologically challenging. It's extremely valuable to have some form of coaching when you're going through that process. And let me tell you, when you get set up with a good reverse diet, the fat loss after is a completely different experience. You've got a metabolism that's humming, you're strong, then you cut your calories, boom, fat comes off your body, and you end up in a place where you're eating more than you were when you first started. Like, that's very sustainable. All right, I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. One of the keys to fat loss is protein. It's true, if you're not eating a high protein diet, you're not gonna burn as much body fat as you can. So in today's episode, we're gonna talk about the smartest ways to use protein for fat burn and to build muscle. You gotta watch this.
I wish I understood this earlier in my career. I think it was probably almost 10 years in when I started to just focus on this with clients.
I knew it was important,
Yeah.
but I don't know how important.
Yeah, I knew it was important, but I also didn't